Welcome to another amazing class where we'll be looking at literal and figurative language, words associated with health, and speech writing. Language has to do with the system of communication used by a particular country or community. It can be conveyed by speech, writing, or gesture. Language is broadly divided into two categories, which are literal language and figurative language. Literal language is using words to say exactly what you mean. The words have no deeper or implied meaning where you make comparison and you exaggerate the situation. Literal language is used to give important information. It is used in writing scientific reports, technical reports, and legal documents. Figurative language is the use of words in an unusual or imaginative manner. The words always have a deeper or implied meaning. Let's look at some examples of literal language and figurative language. He has big feet. That is literal language. In figurative language, it will become his feet are as big as skateboards. His feet are as big as skateboards. Her hair is very soft. Figurative language, her hair is silky. Literal language, lava erupted from the volcano. Figurative language, the volcano spits out lava from its mouth. You notice the difference of words, the difference in the choice of words between the literal language and the figurative language. Figurative language also implies figures of speech. Simile is a comparison of two things with the use of like and as. Example, the flower looks like a golden jewel. The tree is as tall as a skyscraper. Two things are being compared in each sentence and we use like or as. A metaphor is an implied comparison between two things without the use of as or like. Please note the difference. In simile, we compare with using as or like, while in metaphor, we compare without using as or like. Examples of metaphor. The sun was a gleaming pearl. My baby brother is a cute little teddy bear. The car seat is a fluffy cloud. Irony is the use of words that mean the opposite of what you really think, especially in order to be funny. Examples we have, this is my brilliant son who failed out of college. She is a great singer who sings like a crow. These are examples of irony. Irony is divided into three: verbal irony, situational irony, and dramatic irony. Situational irony is when something happens that we would not naturally expect to happen. Example, a fire station burning down because of fire outbreak. That's situational irony. Dramatic irony usually occurs in plays or in movies where the audience or reader knows something that the characters do not know. Why verbal irony, which is the most common of the three, is saying something that means a different thing from what you just said. Usually, we refer to it as sarcasm. Example, this is my brilliant son who failed all his courses. We definitely know that you are not talking about the child as a brilliant child. Hyperbole. This is a great exaggeration to create emphasis or effect. Example, I am so hungry that I could eat a horse. That's definitely hyperbole. There's no way you can be hungry to eat a horse, or you say, I'm so thirsty that I can finish the Pacific Ocean. I could drink the Pacific Ocean. That is hyperbolic in nature. Euphemism. This is the substitution of an agreeable or inoffensive expression for one that may offend or suggest something unpleasant. We exchange something unpleasant for something that is not unpleasant. Examples we have, he passed away. That's a pleasant way for saying somebody died. You are being let go. That's a pleasant way for saying you're fired from your job. I'm going to the convenience. I want to use the restroom. That's a pleasant way and also an inoffensive way for saying you're going to use the toilet. Personification is a figurative language that attributes human characteristics, emotions, and behavior to animals or inanimate objects or ideas. We give human qualities, human behavior to objects, to animals, or even to ideas. Examples: the clumsy turtle enjoys the sun. Death robbed her of her chance of happiness. You can hear the trees whisper in the dark. In each of these examples, you can see the attributes of human being, like being clumsy, enjoying the sun, robbing something off. Death is not a robber, it's not an armed robber, it does not have hands, it does not carry ammunition, but you can see the attribute being given to it. Trees naturally do not whisper. Another figure of speech we'll be looking at is paradox. This is a figure of speech which appears to contradict itself. It looks false at the surface level, but when you take a deeper look at it, a deeper meaning, it is true. Examples we have: war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. Paradox always reveals something about the human nature. Oxymoron is a figure of speech in which the words contradict themselves. In oxymoron, we place two words with opposite meaning side by side to create an effect. Examples we have: original copy, deafening silence, sad smile. An example of a sentence with oxymoron would be: he gave a sad smile at the funeral ceremony. He gave a sad smile at the funeral ceremony. Antithesis is a literary device in which two opposite ideas are put together in a sentence to achieve a contrasting effect. It is different from oxymoron, whereby we have just two words placed side by side. In antithesis, it is two opposite ideas. A man proposes, God disposes. Too black for heaven and yet too white for hell. Allusion is a figure of speech that makes a brief or indirect reference to a person, a place, or event. It is related to past or current history, culture, literature, politics, Greek or Roman mythology, or the Bible. Example is a real Romeo with the ladies. It alludes to the story of Romeo and Juliet. Tolu is the prodigal son of his family. It alludes to the parable of the prodigal son in the Bible. Synecdoche is a figure of speech in which a part of something is used to represent the whole thing. Synecdoche is a figure of speech in which a part of something is used to represent the whole thing. Example: I have four mouths to feed at home. The four mouths represent four people, which is saying I have four people to feed at home. Metonymy is a figure of speech in which the name of one object is substituted for something closely related to that thing. Examples we have: we will swear loyalty to the crown. The crown there is an example of metonymy. The crown represents the throne, it represents royalty, it represents those in power. So it's as saying that we'll swear loyalty to either the king, the queen, or the president, or whosoever is in power as at that time. Now, let's do a quick test of what we have learned so far about figurative language. Two heads are better than one. What figure of speech is used here? Two heads are better than one. Can you think about it? The correct answer is synecdoche, because head is used to represent people. Next, we'll be moving over to words associated with health. There are certain words that are associated with health that help us when we talk about health and medicine. Pill. Pill is a small piece of medicine that you swallow without chewing. It can be round, it can be flat, sometimes they come in different shapes. Convalescence is to spend time getting healthy after an illness. Drip is a piece of equipment that passes liquid, food, medicine slowly through a tube into a patient's vein. We use drip to pass liquids, food, and medicine through a tube into a patient's vein, a person or a patient's vein. Anemia is a medical condition in which a person has low red blood cell count that makes them look pale and weak. A person who suffers from anemia is called anemic. The person is anemic. Herbs are traditional drugs, usually from leaves, stems, or bark of trees that are used by herbalists to cure an illness. Thermometer is an instrument used to measure the temperature of the body. Sphygmomanometer is an instrument used to measure blood pressure. Stethoscope is an instrument used by a doctor to listen to somebody's heartbeat and breathing. Mortuary is a place in a hospital where dead bodies are kept. A pharmacy is a place in the hospital where prescription drugs are dispensed in the hospital. After the doctor has prescribed your drugs for you, you go to the pharmacy to get your drugs. A ward is the part of a hospital with beds where patients reside. There are usually different wards in the hospital according to the different needs or illnesses of the patients. Examples, we have the children ward, maternity ward, ENT ward, that's ear, nose, and throat ward, and so on. Surgery is a procedure involving major incisions to remove, repair, or replace a part of a body. Speech writing processes. Speech writing is the process of writing something that is generally meant to be delivered to a large audience. Speech writing is the process of writing something that is meant to be delivered to a large audience. Types of speech according to their purpose. We have informative speech, persuasive speech, and entertainment speech. Informative speech is a speech designed to explain something to people. The aim of informative speech is to help your audience understand something, understand a concept, or show them how to do something. Entertainment speech is designed to captivate an audience attraction and amuse them while delivering a clear message. Speakers engage in entertainment speeches generally at special occasions like wedding toasts, funerals, birthday ceremonies. You see a lot of entertainment speeches at such events. Persuasive speech is a speech that establishes a fact, it changes a belief, or move an audience to act on a policy. Persuasive speech is meant to convince your audience to come around to your own way of thinking or to accept your point of view. Next, tips for presenting a speech. One important tip is to always use cohesive devices. Cohesive devices are words that link ideas and clauses together. They help you to guide your words, they help to guide your reader through your writing and make your reading clear. They help to guide your readers as they read through your work. They can properly follow through sentence by sentence, paragraph by paragraph, and understand what you are writing. Examples of cohesive device, when we want to make comparison, we have also, similarly, likewise. To make exemplification, we have for example, for instance, such as. To show addition, we use words such as and, also, furthermore. To show conclusion, we have in summary, finally, lastly, and lots more. Other tips for presenting a speech include: figure out the speech's primary point. What is the purpose of that speech? Is it to inform? Is it to persuade? Or is it to entertain? Understand who will listen to the speech. That is, at this point, know who is your audience. Make eye contact with your audience. This is very important. While presenting a speech, it is good to make eye contact with the audience. Greet your audience. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Good day, distinguished ladies. Good day. There are some languages or some words you use to acknowledge the presence of your audience. This gets them to listen to you, to pay rapt attention while you deliver your speech. Speak slowly and clearly. Use a pace that your reader can follow. That's why you should speak slowly and clearly. It's also good to use some gestures or body language while making your speech. Lastly, do not panic but be calm when delivering your speech. We've come to the end of this lesson and I'm sure you've learned a lot. Thank you for watching this video and see you in our next class.